All right, and we are also joined by Meredith Portera from Madison Central, Kathy Evans from Ridgeland High, and Keith Chadwick at Germantown are also with us on this, and we have a room full here at Belmont Jackson.
Awesome. Well, it's so nice to see y'all and get to talk to y'all a little bit.
Awesome. Glad to have you.
Am I able to share my screen?
You are?
Okay, perfect.
I just got it set to where you can, so.
And then do we need to start at 1 or am I able to go ahead and get started?
We're good. We'll go ahead.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here with y'all today. As I mentioned, my name is Megan Thomas. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions with the University of Mississippi, and I am the admissions counselor / recruiter for all schools within Madison County. So I am your go-to girl for any and everything Ole Miss as you are navigating throughout your college search process. And I would definitely love the opportunity to show you guys how you can build your legacy with us at Ole Miss as a member of the Ole Miss family. And you might see my background as well. So I am coming to y'all live, and I use that very loosely, from the Grove, which is the 10-acre area of campus that is known as the best college football tailgating in the country. So there is no other place in the United States where everybody gets excited about red and blue trash cans on a Friday, because that signifies that it is Trash Can Friday. Yes, this is a real thing. Hashtag Trash Can Friday. And that means that the Rebels play football on the very next day, and everybody, 60,000 of your closest friends are going to be in the Grove with you, eating some of the best food and having just a great time of hospitality and conversation and just excitement waiting for the football team to play. So I am sure y'all are very familiar with where the University of Mississippi is located, but I always like to talk a few minutes about Oxford because it's such a special place. So with y'all being in Madison, it's only 2.5 hours north. It is the fastest and easiest drive up I-55 that you could possibly imagine. So straight up 55, exit at Batesville, and then 15 minutes later, you have arrived.
Yep.
So ESPN actually just named us America's best college town. And so we definitely would love for y'all to come up and see what we have to offer y'all. Oxford is home to about 20,000 residents who live there year round. And when our students are on campus for classes, Oxford doubles in size. So it's usually around 40,000 people during the school year, which may sound like a lot, but that just means you've got lots of people to welcome you to Ole Miss for your 4 or more years that you're with us on campus. But outside of the hospitality and just people so excited to have y'all in town for school, you are truly going to find some of the best food and music and entertainment that you possibly could find. So in the Oxford city limits alone, there are over 200 restaurants, and there are quite a few located right around the Oxford Square. And so that's the picture that's on your screen. Those are all snapshots from the square, which is our little downtown area. But there's also the Lyric, which is one of the best music venues in the southeastern United States, where we constantly have really cool and popular artists. So over the past couple of years, we've had Lil Uzi, Thomas Rhett, Riley Green, Hardy. Some really big name acts will always come to the Lyric every year. And of course, you can do your homework and then go hang out at the Lyric that night and watch your favorite artist perform. There's also shopping and bookstores, and there's always going to be comedy acts. So there's lots of stuff to do in Oxford. So looking a little bit closer at Ole Miss and what our student population and what campus looks like. I mentioned earlier, there's about 20,000 students in Ole Miss. So the exact number is actually 22,000, but that includes all of our regional campuses. So we have campuses, our main campus is in Oxford, but then we also have regional campuses in Grenada, Tupelo, Boonville, DeSoto County, Rankin County, which is really close to home for us. And then our largest regional campus, which I know y'all are going to know, is actually the University of Mississippi Medical Center in Jackson. So that's actually Mississippi's only academic teaching hospital. And so that's home to our School of Medicine, School of Dentistry, which is also the only one in Mississippi, as well as physical therapy, occupational therapy programs in our School of Nursing, not to mention dental hygiene, radiology. There's lots there that we'll get into later. But our students are from all over the world. So we have students representing every county in Mississippi. We've got all 50 states represented on our campus and then 90 countries around the globe. So you're not only going to be meeting people from your hometown, you're going to be meeting people from everywhere. And I said earlier, the Ole Miss family, I really mean that, because no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, once you're on campus with us, everybody just comes together and you're just part of the family. And so it's really neat getting to meet students from Texas and California and New York and many other countries as well.
Yeah, that's true. I actually stopped through Oxford a couple of years ago to drive Lyft, and I met a girl from San Bernardino, California,
Yes.
a guy from Hartford, Connecticut, and a dude from Grand Rapids, Michigan, all in the same day. So that was pretty cool.
That is so cool. Yes, you honestly never know. We are around 60 to 65% Mississippi resident, and then of course 40 to 45 non-resident. So it's a really good mix of out-of-state students. So that way you can really have the best of both worlds. And we're also the third smallest school in the Southeastern Conference, which is a really good mix because y'all are going to get the best of both worlds with that. You're going to be at a large SEC university with SEC D1 athletics, over 100 different academic majors, over 400 student organizations. But then on the flip side, you're also going to have small classes. Our classroom averages around 32 to 34 students, and only 5% of our classes on campus have 100 or more students in them. So
that's an impressive stat.
It is. And I don't like statistics often, but that's one that I cannot help but share, to know that you're going to be at an SEC university and very, very rarely will you have a class of 100 or more people in them. So yeah, so it's really the opportunity for you to get to know your teachers, just like you have the opportunity to get to know them in high school, and make friends with the other students in your class, which just helps for study groups and, just making you feel like you are a part of something and making you feel at home. One other thing that I also like to mention is we are leading the state of Mississippi in graduation rates and retention rates. So our freshman to sophomore retention rate is 86%. So that's a university and a Mississippi record. So I say retention, and that means that our freshmen come to Ole Miss and they stay. They love it so much, they stay on for sophomore year. So I truly mean that. You will love it. And if you don't, talk to me and we'll figure something out for you. But then also our graduation rate is also the highest in Mississippi, and we are leading the state in our graduates finding employment after they graduate. So that is definitely something you want to know, that you are going to school and that education is going to be worthwhile, because you're going to have a job at the end of your time with us. So going into academics a little bit, as I mentioned, we do have over 100 different programs of study. So there are quite a few to choose from. Our College of Liberal Arts is going to be our largest academic division, and that's home to around 40 different majors. The best way to think about liberal arts is think about the classes that you're taking now in high school. So the arts, the sciences, social sciences, such as psychology, sociology, Englishes, histories, all of those majors are going to be found in our College of Liberal Arts. The two largest in this area are going to be biology and psychology. Biology is very popular for students who are interested in pursuing pre-med, but I will talk more about health professions in a few minutes. And then also on this page, you'll see our School of Pharmacy. We have the only public pharmacy school in the state of Mississippi. We are ranked top 25 in the country. And for those of you that are interested in pharmacy, you can actually apply to pharmacy school your senior year of high school through our early entry pharmacy program.
Yeah, we had a Velma Jackson alum just finish that program. She's
yes, it's awesome. We usually end up with students from Velma, Ridgeline, Germantown, and Madison Central each year in early entry.
Yeah, she's just sung its praise and said it was a great program.
It's perfect, especially if you know that that's what you want to go into, and there's so many benefits outside of having a guaranteed seat in pharmacy school. The pharmacy school offers advising and tutoring and just tons of resources for those students just to ensure that you're good to go with all your coursework and everything. We are also home to the School of Journalism and New Media. So there are two options for you within that academic school. That's going to be traditional journalism, either print or broadcast, with some emphasis areas such as news reporting, political and social justice reporting, visual journalism, video, storytelling. And then our other major is called Integrated Marketing Communications. We just call it IMC for short because that's such a mouthful. But our IMC major is actually the largest in the United States.
Wow.
So that's going to combine marketing and communications, of course, with a little bit of branding and social media to really give you a updated version of marketing and how you can best advertise to consumers. So we have journalism alumni who are currently working at TikTok, Facebook, ESPN, SEC Network, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, running social media for the Green Bay Packers. And then I have a friend who majored in IMC, and he is working for Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's media company, in addition to working for Making the Cut, which is a TV show on Amazon Prime.
That's awesome.
So lots of really cool stuff to do there. And then lastly on this page, our Patterson School of Accountancy, last but definitely not least, is ranked in the top 10 accounting programs in the nation. So we are ranked #1 in Mississippi and #1 in the SEC for accounting. So we have a 99.9% job placement rate for our accounting graduates. They won't ever let me say 100%, but just know it's essentially 100%. And then here are a few more of the academic areas that we offer. So our School of Business Administration is actually ranked in the top 60 public business schools in the country. Our School of Education is the leading producer of teachers and educators in Mississippi. And then our School of Applied Sciences, that really focuses on majors that allow our students to be change makers in society. So that's going to include exercise science, which is an ideal major for physical therapy school. That's criminal justice, social work, hospitality management, communication sciences and disorders. That was my major. So that's just a really fancy label for speech pathology. So that's there if you want that. And then lastly, our School of Engineering, which is actually the oldest engineering school in Mississippi and home to Mississippi's #1 electrical engineering program. So that is definitely there. And we have an amazing program that partners with our School of Engineering and a few other academic areas. It's called the Haley Barbour Center for Manufacturing Excellence.
Wow.
They work really closely with Nissan and Toyota, both of those plants located here in Mississippi. But essentially what you are going to be learning is how the worlds of business, accountancy, and engineering all intersect. You're going to be learning the 3 languages and how that transpires over to modern manufacturing.
Absolutely.
So we have a student who interned. She was a mechanical engineering major, also in our CME, and she interned with SpaceX for a semester and Tesla for the 2nd semester. And now she is working for Elon Musk's satellite internet company.
Ooh.
Yes. So she actually had to finish at Ole Miss a semester early because he was requesting her to move to California to start working for his new satellite internet company. So that is definitely really exciting for her. And then I've mentioned health professions a few times so far. I want to make sure that we touch base on that as well. We do have several pre-professional areas, so pre-medicine, pre-dental, pre-occupational therapy, etc. All of those are not majors. They're actually tracks. And so they'll pair with any major that I've talked about so far. So if you want to go to med school, but you want to major in biology, or I'm sorry, you want to major in business, you can be a business major while still also being pre-med. What that means for you is you are going to be working with our Health Professions Advising Office in Oxford on our main campus. So we have the only full service Health Professions Advising Office in Mississippi. We are ranked #3 in the country, #1 in the SEC, and for health professions advising. So you will have a special advisor for pre-med or pre-dent or pre-OT or pre-PT, whatever route you're choosing to go, but they're really going to serve as a mentor for you throughout the admissions process. So if there are special classes that you need to apply to different medical schools that you're interested in across the country, they'll help you prepare for all of that, in addition to helping you with any entrance exams for these schools, just like med school requires the MCAT. But they also help you with resume building and mock interviews and just really helping you with the whole process. We have the highest acceptance rate for medical school and dental school in the state of Mississippi, and we consistently place the most students into those programs at UMMC. And it's not because it's our medical school and it's our dental school. It's just because our students are so well prepared going into those programs that we usually get the most in those. So we will definitely take care of you when it comes to those areas and prepare you well for those next steps that you plan to pursue after Ole Miss. Finally, I do want to talk about a few of our special programs that we offer, and these are very specialized programs for students with specific interests. So the first one is going to be our Sally McDonald Barksdale Honors College, which is consistently ranked as one of the most prestigious honors colleges in the country. We also have the Trent Lott Institute for Public Policy Leadership, the Center for Manufacturing Excellence, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, the Croft Institute for International Studies, which houses our international studies major. And then we also have federally funded Arabic and Chinese flagship language programs. So all of those that you see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, all of those programs require an additional application that's separate to the general admission application. But we will talk about that in a few minutes. So I'll make sure that y'all have that all understood. I definitely cannot let it go by without talking a little bit about student life and the traditions at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is truly one of the most social campuses in the Southeastern Conference. And as I have mentioned, we have over 400 different student organizations. So there is truly something for everyone to be a part of. If you are not interested in the traditional organizations such as student government, which is known as the Associated Student Body, you could possibly be a part of SAA, which is our Student Activities Association. They plan the fun events that happen on campus. So whether that be the homecoming parade and everything that happens during homecoming week, or you might want to plan welcome week where it's the first week of classes and there are always tons of free food in the Grove. And we don't have a mechanical bull at Ole Miss, we have a mechanical shark. And so that's always sitting in the Grove during welcome week. So you can try your luck at the mechanical shark. But they also plan concerts on campus as well. So in the past few years, we've had Wiz Khalifa, Brad Paisley and Cam. I'm trying to think, Nelly, the Goo Goo Dolls, Need to Breathe. There's been some really cool people on campus for free concerts these past few years. So hoping we can bring that back this year as we are getting past COVID as much as we possibly can. Another huge part of Ole Miss is definitely our traditions. Hotty toddy is what you're going to hear us say so often. And it's not just a cheer, it's also a greeting and just a way of life. So you might be clear across the country in California wearing an Ole Miss shirt in the airport, and somebody, instead of saying, hey, they're probably going to say, hotty toddy, go Rebs. And that's just hello. That's just what we say. But the cheer, in case you've never heard it, is in the very bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And if you're ever on campus and you hear somebody yell, "Are you ready?" You just better be prepared to answer them with the chant, because that signifies the start of it. And we are so ready to cheer the Rebs on with that. We also lock the vault before every home football game. So our student section will link arms, and as the DJ starts playing the music, you lock arms and you sway together, and you're locking the vault, and you're not letting the opponent out of the stadium. And that's just a really fun way to kick off the football games. Another really big part of student life is living on campus, and we require all of our freshmen to live on campus. I actually lived on campus for 2 years, and it was my favorite part of college. And we have different types of residence halls. So you could live in a traditional residence hall. Those are the typical residence halls you see on TV and in the movies, with those community style bathrooms and showers located in a central area on each floor. But we also offer contemporary halls, and I kid you not, those look just like a hotel room. You and your roommate have your own bathroom or shower in your room that y'all share amongst the two of you. So there's no sharing with the entire floor of residence. But we allow our students to pick which residence hall you want to live in, and even which room you want in your specific building. And once you apply for admission to Ole Miss and get accepted, you can start applying for housing. So housing priority is going to depend on the date and time that you actually submit your housing application. So the sooner you can apply for housing, the better your priority.
Ended at the end of this month, round 1, I see here.
Yes.
So anybody watching now or later wanting to go, if you're wanting to go there as a freshman, you need to get on that housing immediately, from what I can tell by this.
Yes, so it actually opens September 1st, but then round 2 opens on October 1st. So if you're already admitted to Ole Miss and we're in your top 3 colleges, this is something that I would definitely recommend that you do sooner rather than later, just so your priority is going to be held in place of when you apply.
Okay.
So anybody who applies for housing in the month of September 1st, you're in round 1 for room selection. But starting October 1st, all the way until April the 8th, that's round 2 for room selection. So that's when it matters. Apply sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
The roommate deadline isn't until April the 13th. So you have plenty of time to figure out this year who you want to room with for your freshman year. So don't worry about that right now. It does also cost $75 to apply for housing. That's the non-refundable deposit. One more thing about housing to mention, a lot of students feel as though when they apply for housing, they're officially committing to attend the university, and that's not the case at all. You can apply for housing, but then tell me later that you've decided to attend somewhere else. So that is not committing you to attend Ole Miss. So keep that in mind as well. Let's transition over and talk about financial aid and scholarships. There's really 3 different facets to scholarships and financial aid at Ole Miss, okay? So first of all, there's our academic merit scholarships and our 1848 scholarships. Those are merit scholarships that are just based on ACT and GPA. So our academic merit scholarships start at a 23 on the ACT with a 3.0 GPA. We accept ACT super scores, so good news for y'all. And then our academic merit, our 1848 scholarship starts at a 23 on the ACT with a 3.5 GPA. So it's really nice because if you know that you've got the 23 and a 3.5, you're going to automatically get both of those scholarships.
And all of our seniors in Madison County schools are taking the ACT October 5th.
Yes, I have been hearing from quite a few of them about that. So y'all just always make sure that we're getting your updated scores sent to us, either your composite or your super score, though we would definitely prefer your super score. So that way we can make sure that we're always going to have your highest score on file. The second area of financial aid and scholarships is going to be our competitive scholarship application. So that's called the Special Programs and Scholarships application. You get access to this application as soon as you apply for admission. You do not have to be accepted to start this application. It opened in July, so it's already open, and it is due on January the 5th. This is one application for all of our competitive scholarships, as well as those special programs that I mentioned a few slides back. So if you're interested in the Honors College or the Croft Institute or the Lott Institute, all of those applications are going to be found in the special programs and scholarships application. It's really nice. It's a one-stop shop. You go in, you fill out your resume, you write a couple of essays, you submit recommendation letters, and you can apply for all freshman scholarships plus those special programs all in one application portal. So remember, the deadline is January the 5th. And then finally, the third facet of financial aid and scholarships is going to be financial aid, which is going to include the FAFSA. So that's the free application for federal student aid, as well as the Mississippi financial aid application. And that's where you can apply for MTAG, the HELP grant, or MESG, the Mississippi Eminent Scholars Grant. Get to College is a wonderful resource for y'all.
Yeah, they were here last week.
Awesome. Okay, so y'all are already familiar with Get to College. Take them up on the offer to schedule an appointment with them. They will do your FAFSA and your Mississippi aid application either in person or on Zoom in 30 minutes, and it's free. They do not cost you anything. And let me tell you, they can do it a whole lot better than I can. So take them up on the offer and do it because they're wonderful. I also always like to shout out 80% of our freshmen come in with some type of financial aid. So that's a huge number because our freshman class is usually somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 students yearly. And 80% of them come in with some type of aid. So we like for our students to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and Megan, I see on here you got the federal work study as well. You know, before I got into teaching, I was in
Yes.
campus rec.
Oh, awesome.
We
Okay.
watched a video just now of the South Campus Rec Center, and I can tell you, I mean, I'm not at Ole Miss, but I can guarantee you they're looking for students to come work there, which could qualify for federal work study and give you additional financial aid. Because I can tell you, somebody that used to be in that field, a lot of people are needed to run those facilities and run those programs.
You're exactly right.
With the on-campus jobs like that, you don't have to be a recreation type major. They're looking for all types of majors with all types of skills, and it can open up a lot of doors for you. And so I would encourage anybody watching now or later, the campus rec, especially in a new building like at Ole Miss, will be a great fit for a federal work study job.
Yes, I 1000% agree. And, you know, we have 2 rec centers on our campus now. South Campus Rec, I guess it opened almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we also have the Turner. Yeah, we also have the Turner Center. They are by far the largest student employers on our campus. And so you could work behind the front desk scanning ID cards, or if you love yoga or you love hip hop dance, you could actually be an instructor and teach one of those classes. There's always something to do. And the good thing about working on campus is your employer will allow you to schedule your work hours around your class schedule. So, you know, you might be working, you know, evenings or mornings in the rec centers, but say you get a job in the admissions office, well, we close at 5 p.m. So it's very unlikely that you'd be working after 5 p.m. And so it's really nice because, you know, you're working around 15 to 20 hours a week, and everything is tailored to when you are out of classes. So it's very flexible. So I definitely want to shout out our admissions application in hopes that y'all will apply for admission and consider joining the Ole Miss family. Our admissions application is open and y'all can apply 2 different ways. So we have the admissions application available on our website. It's olemiss.edu/apply. The link is there on your screen. We're also available in the Common application if any of you are planning to apply through Common App. In Common App, we don't need essays. We do not need rec letters. We just need you to apply for admission and pay the application fee. It is $40 on our website. It is $60 on the Common App, and we do accept fee waivers if any of you qualify for those. So you are welcome to reach out to your counselors, or your CCR teachers should even be able to assist you with that, and they can get the fee waiver sent directly to me so that way you don't have to pay to apply. Once you submit your admissions application, we ask for your high school transcript to be submitted. Due to COVID, we have implemented a test optional admissions policy again for this year's seniors. So as long as you have a 2.0 core GPA, no ACT score required, you are admissible to Ole Miss and will be accepted. So again, test optional, no test scores required for admission. All you need is a 2.0 core GPA on your college prep classes. So apply, send us the application fee payment or waiver, send us your transcript, and we can make an admissions decision for you and hopefully get you admitted in about a week or so. We do encourage you to submit your test scores just because the majority of our scholarships do require those. But again, you can submit your test scores all year through next July for those merit scholarships that I mentioned earlier. Also, that competitive scholarship application is due on January the 5th. And then, of course, the FAFSA opens on October the 1st. FAFSA is not required, but it's highly recommended. Of course, I want to extend the invitation for you to visit our campus. This is the link that you see on the screen right now, olemiss.edu/visit. That's going to take you directly to our online calendar where you can see all of the dates and times that we have available for you to visit. We are offering in-person visits Monday through Friday at 10:15 or 1:15. And then we also do one virtual visit option a week. We also do Saturday special events, one Saturday each month. So the next one's going to be October 30th, which is Fall Visit Day. So you can come up on a Saturday and tour around and meet with different academic departments. These visits are going to be an admissions info session, a housing tour, and a campus tour. But if you want to meet with any specific departments and learn more about majors, you're welcome to reach out to me and I can schedule those specifically for y'all. I just need to know at least a week in advance. Okay. And speaking of reaching out to me, this is my contact information. So again, I am Megan Thomas. I'm one of the assistant directors in the office, but the primary admissions counselor for Madison County. I live in Madison, so I am here all the time. I live and work from home, but you will constantly see me and the Ole Miss van at Starbucks or Panera or the Chick-fil-A drive-thru because I live off of large Diet Cokes. But please, if you see me around, please say hello. That's my cell phone number on the screen, so you're welcome to call or text me. I would love to meet with you or members of your family somewhere around Madison, Ridgeland, Gluckstadt, or Canton to talk with you more about Ole Miss and what we can offer you as a student. And of course, I've got to plug my social media. So please feel free to give me a follow on Instagram so that way you can keep in touch with me and see where I am throughout the week and when I will be headed to your school in person.
Awesome. Well,
again,
I do have some questions I wanted to get to.
Okay.
And we may have some come from Ridgeland and Madison Central, but I know Ms. Portera at Madison Central wanted me to ask, you wanted a little bit more information about the Honors College, who
Yes.
Students will need to contact to apply for the Honors College?
Yes. Okay. So y'all can always go through me for the Honors College. I know enough to be dangerous, but they also have their own admissions counselor. Her name is Kayla Weinberg, and I can pass along her direct contact information to you, Greg, and that way y'all can blast it out to the students. Okay. I am actually in the process. Kayla is going to be down in October for the Germantown High School College Fair, and we are in the process of actually scheduling some visits both in Madison County, but also a coffee chat for an afternoon. And I'll share that with y'all, and it'll also be emailed out to all the students in our system. But we would love for y'all to come and meet with Kayla and learn more about the Honors College. Okay. We do not have any set admissions requirements for the Honors College. They are completely test blind. So there is no specific ACT or GPA that they are looking for. In terms of a GPA, they do recommend around a 3.5, but again, that's not required. They have holistic admissions. So when I say that, I mean that they're going to be looking at not only your academics, but also the things that you provide in that scholarship application. So your resume, they want to know everything you've done 9th through 12th grade, service, extracurriculars, leadership, as well as they're also going to evaluate the essays that you include in that scholarship application.
Awesome. And the one thing I have before we get to the students' questions is, we've talked a lot on here about freshman admissions, which is great. But yes. What type of relationship do you guys have with community colleges or people that wanted to transfer in after a community college?
That's a great question. We love our transfer students so much. So we actually have our own transfer admissions team that are assigned to different community colleges throughout Mississippi, but also throughout the country as well. So there's a team of 4 transfer admissions counselors who split the state and split the country. The admissions requirements for transfer students are very simple. So there's 30 core hours that we require, which are going to be those traditional classes y'all are taking freshman and sophomore year. You might have even taken some dual credit already in high school. So we require 6 hours of English, so Comp 1 and Comp 2, 3 hours of math, college algebra or higher, 2 lab-based sciences, 9 hours of humanities and fine arts. So that's histories, literatures, music, art, theater appreciation, all of those. And then finally, 6 hours of social science. So psychology, sociology, human growth and development, things like that. So you need a 2.0 GPA on those 30 core hours. But scholarship opportunities for transfer students start at a 3.0 with 48 credit hours. So that's typically going to require those community college transfer students to stay at the community college for at least 2 years.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, our Phi Theta Kappa Scholarship is incredible. It pays around $8,000 per year, which is almost full tuition. So just as long as you can keep that GPA up and get invited and inducted into Phi Theta Kappa, please take that opportunity.
Yeah, I know Holmes and Hines both have very large Phi Theta Kappa chapters.
They do, yes. We have one of the largest, best scholarships for Phi Theta Kappa in Mississippi.
Wow. Well, I do have a few questions here, and I'll get to as many of these as I can. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I'm gonna get to some of these.
Okay.
And these are all seniors. This is Jakaja Anderson, and she's asking, what's the hardest part about getting adjusted to Ole Miss?
Ooh, I think just honestly being away from home for the first time, no matter who you are or where you're from, the first semester of going to college, period, Ole Miss or not, is going to be that transition period as a freshman. I struggled with it. Everybody I know struggled with it, but it's nothing that you cannot conquer. So just make sure that you're getting plugged in with a student organization or two on campus. Swallow your pride and reach out to your professors. Go talk to them during office hours if you are needing help with any classes or test prep. And just don't be afraid to say hello or to smile to somebody. Sit by somebody new at lunch one day, because you will make your friends in the most unpredictable ways. And those can be some of your closest friends in college.
Yeah, and I had one more question. I forgot.
Okay.
My sister's actually a Delta Gamma on the Oxford campus, and obviously the Greeks are a big deal. So anybody interested in MPHC, ICPC, obviously they need to get involved in that. But let's say somebody is not really interested in the whole Greek scene.
Yeah.
What are some of these student organizations that you're talking about?
Yeah, so, and just speaking to Greek life on our campus, 40% of our student population is affiliated with Greek, and we do have Interfraternity Council, Panhellenic, and MPHC. So last time I heard, which was a few months ago, I believe we have 6 of the 9 Divine Nine organizations on our campus. It may be more than that now, so don't quote me on that, but they are very involved. But only 40%, so it's not the vast majority of our students that are involved in Greek life. I was not affiliated with Greek organizations in college, and I didn't feel like it hindered my experience at all. So I was really involved in other areas of student life. So I know I mentioned earlier we have student government and the Student Activities Association. There are things such as our Black Student Union for our African American students on campus. We have campus ministries that take place throughout the week, so you can get plugged in with the campus ministry or even start a Bible study on campus. There are even some special interest groups such as student section leaders called the Cardinal Club. So they're in charge of all our student sections at the athletic events. We have campus rec. So if you are really good at flag football or soccer, you can come and try your luck at intramural sports or even club sports. There are even the bird watching club, the gardening club, hip hop Rebs, which is a hip hop dance team. And they just get together and learn new dances and choreograph dances every week. There's no shortage of things to plug into. So there's something for everybody.
It's awesome. This is from Alayla Middleton, and she's extremely interested in nursing, but she's asking about, you said the different residence halls. What is is there a cost difference between the residence halls?
Yes, there is a cost difference in the residence halls. So traditional residence halls are going to be the least expensive residence halls just because they're the community style. And then those contemporary halls with the private bathrooms and showers are going to cost a little bit more. So it averages to be about $1,000 more expensive per year to live in a contemporary residence hall. Our housing website is housing.olemiss.edu. And on that page, all of the buildings are listed with the costs associated with each of the buildings. So y'all can hop on that website and look and see exactly what's what. And again, that's just housing.olemiss.edu.
Okay. This is from Terrence Mack, and this is a great question. This is, do any of the majors require independent study or capstone projects?
Yes, they do. So that's a really good question. So specifically, our honors college requires a thesis your senior year. So that's a master's level thesis, like you defend in graduate school. Our Croft Institute for International Studies also requires a thesis, but if you do Croft in honors college, they will allow you to only write one thesis to count for both. The Arabic and Chinese programs both require a 5th year, that's a capstone year, where you will either study in China or Morocco and Jordan if you choose Arabic. So you'll spend a year there. And then our School of Applied Sciences requires an internship, a semester-long internship, as well as our School of Accountancy. So even in the areas that don't require those, they're still available for our students and are strongly recommended.
Oh, absolutely. Just for the networking aspect.
Yes.
Now you did, and this is Jalea Jackson. This is another great question, and you talked a little bit about this, but she's asking, what are the class sizes like?
Yeah, okay. So the average classroom size on campus is around 32 to 34 students. So it is on the smaller side. And as I mentioned earlier, only 5% of our classes on campus have 100 or more students in them. So it ends up being 92% of our classes on campus have 50 students or less in them. 92% on campus have 50 or less. So very comparable to what you're used to in high school. And some of the classes, your junior and senior year, as you start getting into more of your specialized classes for your major, or can even be even smaller than 30. My senior year, I had a class with 8 other people in it, which is really cool because we knew everybody. We were all on a first name basis, which is really unique.
That's awesome. And we thank you so much for joining us today. And I know we're almost out of time here, but before we go, what if nothing else, what is the main reason for somebody to come join you guys at the University of Mississippi?
Oh my goodness, put me on the spot. I just think Ole Miss really provides the most unique experience, and it is truly the most special place. The people are incredible, whether they're in the city of Oxford or whether they're students or faculty or staff on campus. And the Ole Miss family, we don't take that term lightly at all. We truly want you to come to Oxford Town and feel like you are a part of something special. And we will take care of you, I promise. So please just let me know if you have questions or need anything, and I will be glad to help y'all.
All right. Well, thank you much, and a big hotty toddy to you.
Hotty toddy, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Megan.
Bye.